But this is the first time that we're doing the tier list. And it's like, for instance, that's the Game of Thrones season 1 um um poster, but we're going to be talking about all the seasons, as well as the X-Men movies, but we're talking about all the movies that I've seen so far. Well, that I've seen so far on the channel. And then sometimes, like for instance, I think we got The Walking Dead. You can't see it. The Walking Dead right here. Will be we'll take into account, some of the earlier seasons, but like we're not gonna have it be based off, because The Walking Dead only did season 10 and 11. We're not gonna have it be based off of oh hey, those earlier seasons are carrying the later seasons. So first we got Ahsoka, which only had, let me see. Hello? Can you? Maybe I just need to. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. And then. How do I? Oh, here it goes. Alright, for sure. So if alright, it's kind of weird me being on this side. I'm never usually on this side of the screen. But first we got Ahsoka, which only had 1 season. Now, this one's being carried by Thrawn and Anakin, and a little bit of like other characters here and there. But it's gonna fall right there for right now. All of a lot of the Anakin moments were, y'all know Anakin, that's my guy. Like my top characters of all time, Anakin / Darth Vader, Spider-Man / and Venom, and Doc Ock. Like Anakin / Darth Vader is always gonna be up there. And some of the in the moments where in there were badass. Thrawn, even though I wasn't too keen on the design, is still Thrawn. But some of the things was breaking it down. I remember Sabine being on some bullshit, and I was just thinking, this one was mostly Patreon exclusive because I was still trying to get my setup back together. This was like right after I started doing stuff on my Mac, after my PC was like, nah, I'm a clock out now. But I remember, and this was one of the earlier reactions on the Patreon, I remember vaguely her doing some stupid shit, and I was, she gave up the thing for Ahsoka, and they just left all the way. They like Thrawn escaped, and then they were talking about some, I don't know. She's trying to be optimistic, and I'm like, imagine you're in the Star Wars galaxy, and y'all are, and they sit the people from like Thrawn is like one of the big people that y'all should be afraid of. Y'all give him a way back to the Star Wars galaxy. Now imagine you're a civilian there, and then like you die, and then it shows you the whole life story, yours as well as the universe. You're like, how did Thrawn, like, what happened with that guy? And then you go back and see that it happened because of Sabine and Ahsoka, and then they're just over there chilling in another galaxy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. Now, Black Mirror only did season 6 on the channel, and even if like season 6 was not like a terrible season, Black Mirror is constantly, its worst episodes are like B or C tier. I don't think they have any F tier. Like, me saying some episodes are D tiers might be other people's B tiers or A tiers. Like, I don't like White Bear. And even if that's not a episode that's on the channel. Now, we'll give us some points down because of, you already know how I was rocking with episode 3 of it. I'm like, bro, you have a mission to do. You know man's just went through some chaotic shit. Hey, you don't have to sit there and let him, he's using your body, and you have to sit there and let him beat up your wife's cheeks while using your replicate body. But saying, yeah, she's mine, and you have, like, bro, why would you say that to that man? You know he's gonna go crazy. You have done that yourself. Blue Eye Samurai. I'll put this probably at the end of A tier, the beginning of B tier. We'll see when we put some more shows and movies on there. But hey, man, you know, it was a good experience overall. I will give some points down. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, Mizo tripping with Akime talking about some, like, basically, I'm with her, like, she's not gonna let you take me. You tried to kill me a couple hours ago. We not like this. I don't know what you thought this was. Pirates of the Caribbean, like, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of it. Unfortunately, these did not see the light of day. These were recorded, and I just remember every time, like, I was going to record them, I was not excited about it. I think, like, I did not like I think there's like 5 movies. I did not like the second one. I didn't like the last 2. And then I think, because I think the problem with the first one was it where, like, he couldn't die and the villain couldn't die. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, where's the stakes? What's the point? And then the third one was like, I liked some moments, but it got to a point in the movie where I'm like, why are we making these? I don't remember what it was, bro. And it was not rememberable. So yeah, I wasn't really big on that. Now the boys. The newer seasons. Ooh. Not the newer seasons. The newer seasons. The reason I said seasons is because I was about to compare it to how, like, the newer season of the House of the Dragon as well. But let's see. I'm trying to think. It had a fantastic finale. I'll give it that. Finale went crazy. But I loved season 3. And I still like the other seasons. Those are not enough to bring it down or bring it up. I'm going to throw that bad boy right there. Dragon Ball Z. Okay. I have to preference this. I've only watched the first 10 episodes. And then I watched some other episodes, but I don't remember them because they were over 20 years ago. So what I've seen so far, we're still getting into it. So this will probably be like my very, like, midpoint. But I'm sure we're going to get some more heat later on. I'm about to continue it on the Patreon. Echo had, yeah, I'm going to throw that right there. It had, I think, like, the first episode or 2, you know, had some decent action. And it's something where I was like, why? I don't care. You're some random character on Hawkeye that I didn't care about. Why are you getting a series? Then I seen the trailer. It's kind of the same way I felt about Andor. Rogue One, no one cared about the characters, bro. And the last third of the movie cared. If the last third didn't happen of the movie, nigga, Who cares about the movie? Then I was like, oh, the trailer looks interesting for Andor. I was like, why is he getting a serious theater? Oh, it looks interesting. Good show. Echo. Oh, trailer looks interesting. Hey, this could be fire. And then y'all started doing some different stuff with the native lineage, and I don't know if that's canon or not, but I don't care. It's just not what it looked like from the trailer. I thought we were about to get some gritty action, some, especially with Kingpin here. I thought we were gonna get some Daredevil type esque. No, we did not. All right, The Expanse. I'll put that right there. The seasons they weren't really like, none of the seasons really knocked my socks off, and none of the seasons were really like, that is trash. Now I will say, if it went a little longer, I probably would have been like, yo, get her son out of here, bruh. I'm like, I don't, if your son is a, let's say, if your son is like just a serial killer doing some crazy shit, like, I don't care. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Oh, well, that's my family. Nigga, I don't care, bruh. That means nothing. Hey, look what they did, buddy. Yeah. Alright. Fallout, we only got one season as the time of doing this. Maybe we'll get a season 2. This is something where I wish this was like how they, you know, from my point of view. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not like a diehard Fallout fan. And that's basically the point of this statement. How they treated this is how they could have treated other video game adaptations. Because this was pretty decent, man. I'll put it right there. I enjoyed it more than the Dragon Ball Z episodes that I've seen, the first 10 episodes. And I enjoyed it more than most of The Expanse. Not some of the greater moments. But I think I enjoyed Blue Eye Samurai. I might go like this. I'm not gonna lie. I might go like that. All these are subject to change. Now, on the channel, I only watched the first Friday the 13th film. We're about to get into Jason. No, Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. We're about to get into Jason. And I just had a Jason shirt on, a couple hours ago. But these are, my two, favorite slasher films. The first one, it wasn't too crazy. I put it right there. It was all right. I feel like it's going to get better as we go on. Now, Friday the 13th. I did the first one, and then I did the 2009 one. 2009 one, I don't even remember. These were forgettable. But the first one, I was like, is this really going to be Jason? And then I was like, oh yeah, it was his mom. And I was like, yeah, I do remember that. And I was like, it was towards the end of the reaction. I was like, I did see this movie. I will say better. I'll put it right there too. Game of Thrones. I'll put it right there because Black Mirror has been at a constant level. Game of Thrones has a higher level, but they also had very much lower levels than Black Mirror. So therefore, even I only did season 6 of Black Mirror, I'm still taking into account the other seasons. And I did all seasons of Game of Thrones. And, people usually talk about the last 2 seasons. Besides maybe Battle of the Bastards and some other things, I wasn't really too big on the 6th season. The 5th season had some moments, but the half of it is banger. and then you have to like find the best parts for the second half of the series. House of the Dragon. I'm gonna have to throw that right there. It got some great moments. But this is kind of making me nervous cuz like as I was hearing the stories about Game of Thrones, I was like, wow. It's rare to find a company that's going to be like, hey, here, take this money, make more, do this, do that. And then David and Dan still fucked it up. But now, the reason it feels weird is because I was like, well, okay, that's someone who I could look at, like if I want to have something adapted to TV. I was like, okay, if it's TV, I can try to go to HBO if I adapt some of my novels. I know who not to be around. Definitely not AMC. Trash. We're gonna get to y'all in a second. Don't you worry. And then Netflix, they'll have you some fire season 1, 2, maybe 3, but you know they gonna hit you with the Thanos. You going just like these, and that's tough. They love canceling shows. So when we get to House of the Dragon, y'all starting to switch up. Oh, too much money. We're gonna fuck up your season 2. That's tough. Now, season 1, you got the excuse of, trying to set up this, and then there's time jumps, and then not much happens between time jumps. Honestly, this is what I think y'all should have done. It's kind of like, we'll talk about the Mandalorian in a second, but it's kind of how, like, if y'all seen my season 3 reactions to the Mandalorian, it's kind of like I was talking about that one, especially towards the later episodes. But I think y'all could have called it House of the Dragon, House Targaryen, Blood of the Dragon, Fire, whatever you want to call it, and have that be a show. Don't focus on the Dance of the Dragons. That's gonna be a pivotal moment. Trust me. Have it start from, maybe you get some, little bit of Doom of Valyria. You see a little bit of Valyria, but you just basically show the Doom. You don't even have to. You could just show little animations like how you did. Not how you did. Like kind of in the same style as y'all's intros, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragons. Have it something like that, and then you have someone narrating it. It could be Aegon. It could be whoever. If you want to throw Emilia Clarke a bag to narrate that, and then whatever, someone narrating it, and then that's just the first episode, and then we actually start with the first episode of Aegon. And then he's getting his dreams of the long night. Season 1, Aegon's conquest. It's not gonna be off-rip action, but you're establishing lay of the land. You can have it end with, like, who is it? One of his sister wives going to try to conquer Dorne, and then she dies. Boom. Then you go, you have a season, and it's like, it's King Maegor, whichever one it is, the Cruel. Then another season, or maybe 2 seasons, of King Jaehaerys. And this one's more like political. You got your side character, you got everyone's like trying to plot. And then towards the end of the second season for Jaehaerys, but like 1, 2, 3, 4. So the end of the 4th season, that's when we're getting a council Jaehaerys passes, and now it's Viserys, and then maybe he passes and Jaehaerys takes the crown. Now, how long does he have the crown? I don't know how. Okay. Laenor was like 9 during the council. And when okay, so it's like 10 years. Okay, let's say he gets the crown towards the 7th episode of season 4. And then when they do that time jump. Okay, what time jump? Let's see. They'll have the first episode of House of the Dragon, have that lead into like, have that be like maybe the second last episode of season 4 or the last episode. Like basically just have it do that, and then maybe season 5 is the Dance of the Dragon. I don't know if you could, maybe you could fit it in a season and a half. Yeah, maybe the middle of the season, season 5, that's when the dance actually begins. And then the end of season 6, the dance ends. The Dance of the Dragon ends. Get the hour of the something of the wolf, whatever, when Craig and Stark. Then you go and then you do all that until you get to Robert's Rebellion. And then you can even show Robert's Rebellion for the final season. Banger. You could that could have been like a 10 series thing. Just the reign of House Targaryen. Showed briefly the doom of Valyria, Aegon's conquest, to Robert's Rebellion. What do I know? Kenobi series. This one has some cool Vader moments. I would put that. I'll put that like right there. I'll put that right there. It is Star Wars, so like, but it didn't. It's kind of the same thing with Ahsoka. Shogun. We need another season, but like what we got was cool. Did I like that more than Blue Eye Samurai? I don't know. I kind of like them the same. I'm not gonna lie. Bars. Last of Us. I'll throw that right there. It wasn't bad. If you just watched the show, I don't know if you would like it more or not. Loki. I only did the newer season on the channel. But it had some good moments. I will put it right there. Now, if we didn't have this MCU established, Loki, it probably would not hit the same. Even with that ending, it probably would not have hit the same. Alright, now Lord of the Rings. I'm also taking into account The Hobbit. So The Hobbit, and then the first Lord of the Rings movie, as well as half of the second one, because I could not finish it. I was not into it. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. Like, it seemed like real childish. And for some reason, I thought that it was going to be more mature. I could have sworn I heard Hobbit was more like, it was more to kids. And then Lord of the Rings was more for adults. But I'm watching Lord of the Rings and I'm like, yo, Sam, get out of my face, bro. I don't like that extra friendly character. I don't care, bro. Excuse me. Like, you damn near about to call Frodo master, bro. What are we doing? That's how you sound. Sorry. That's it. Hey, man. I at least finished Pirates of the Caribbean, so that's tough. X-Men. So X-Men, we're not taking into account Deadpool films. Um, we're taking into account the first 3 movies. I gotta remember to actually finish these movies. I was going to finish them. I didn't stop just because. Only reason I didn't finish them was because I was about to check out First Class. Like everything was ready to go. I was like, okay, let me do this, and then we're gonna go back to X-Men. I think it was right around. It's kind of funny you're next to it, but I think it was when I was finishing season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. I don't remember. I'm like, okay, when I finish this, then I'll go watch. Then I'll go to the X-Men series, and then as soon as I was about to go to it, they took it off Disney Plus. So I was like, I'm not gonna go to Amazon and try to pay for it. It's gonna come back to Disney Plus eventually. I don't know why it's not on there always if you own the property. But whatever. I don't work at Disney. I don't work at Disney minus, so hey man. What I seen so far was, it was decent. It was decent. It's decent. Thought that right there. Mandalorian. Now, we're talking mainly season 3, but we're still taking into account season 1 and 2. I think season 1 and 2 is extremely overrated. Didn't say it's bad, but people hold it as this super high tier. It was just kind of a thing where it's like, oh, like a more grounded, Star Wars project. We like this. Now, like I said with House of the Dragon, this is what I think you should have done. I don't even have Book of Boba Fett on here. This is what I think you should have done. You should have called the show The Mandalorians. Or let's just say you called it The Mandalorian, right? Season 1, Din Djarin. Season 2, Boba Fett. Season 3, what's her name? Bo-Katan. Season 4, Grogu. Season 5 could be the last season, and that could be just like the Mandalorian Empire in general. Where it's like, yeah, we're back on Mandalorian, we're all together now. We got Moff Tarkin out of the way, and then y'all could have did y'all little movie, and then and that would have been cool. But you went with the Mandalorian, and then you had them split season 2 just for them to come back together in a different show. And then it's like, why are we here? As well as the Book of Boba Fett kind of just being on some BS, and it not being his show anymore. Because if you call it The Mandalorians, yeah, hey, season 1, or even if he has 6 seasons, let's say you gave Din Djarin, let's say you gave him 2 seasons. You're like, okay, we're gonna make this new character, and then we'll have other characters kind of coming in to, like, when you got to season 3, which would have been the Book of Boba Fett, you're like, okay, we saw some, everyone knows Boba Fett, and you saw some Boba Fett in season 2. So when Din Djarin comes in, it's like he's coming in to, like, it's not like he's taking over. And when he is, like, quote unquote taking over, it's not like strange. But as it stands, the season 3, that was clearly the worst season. I really do think it's an overrated series. Even I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, season 3, that's a different story. But hey, man, like, it's like he got so much stuff in the earlier seasons that it just was kind of rewound. I got the Darksaber. I'll give it to Bo-Katan. Like, I gave Grogu to Luke, and now on a different series, Grogu's back with me. I'll go right here. I feel like the high points are better than the high points in The Expanse, and then the low points are not super crazy that is very below the Expanse. So yeah, that's what I'll go with. The Last Kingdom. You're gonna see the drastic differences, but Last Kingdom, I enjoyed it. It was something where it's like I wasn't looking excited to recording it, but when I recorded, I was like, yeah, man, why do I keep feeling this way? And then off camera, I watched the rest of the series. I will put it right there. I think House of the Dragon has more high points. And maybe that's because I'm more established to the lore in the world of Westeros. I'm not calling it Planet O's, bro. Like, what are we talking about? And then as well as I'm more connected with some of these characters. Kind of ironic because some of the things I was bringing it down, I was like, you can't do the thing with the God's Eye in House of the Dragon and have there be a lot more left in the series. See, that's another thing with you just having it focus on Dance of the Dragons, because fire characters, no pun intended, are going to come and go. When you're going on this timeline over hundreds of years. But if you're focusing on this time period, when certain characters go, then it's just like, whoa, if they're fan favorites, what are you really doing? It's kind of like, we'll talk about The Walking Dead in a second. Ninja Kamui, it was straight, but I didn't watch that much, so I can't really say much of that. It had a cool little concept. I'll put it right there. It was serviceable, but you know, the views weren't viewing. It is what it is. Cyberpunk, I'm throwing that bad boy. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I'm throwing that bad boy right there. It'll probably go right there eventually. So let me just put it right there anyway. Scavenger's Reign, I couldn't get too much into it, man. It had some cool. It had some cool little like artistic, like, that's some cool visuals basically. So I'll put that right there. Hobbit, ironically, that's what people like the least. It brought the Lord of the Rings above Scavenger's Reign. If it was just Lord of the Rings, I don't know. If I would have finished Scavenger's Reign, I don't know if it would have been above or not. But I didn't finish Lord of the Rings nor Scavenger's Reign. Seven Kings Must Die. Now that's why I said when you're gonna look at the contrast. They kind of did this a lot in The Last Kingdom, but like Seven Kingdoms it was totally a different story. Now this is what they did a lot in The Last Kingdom. Uhtred, you're this, you're that. Uhtred saves the day. I'm forever indebted to you. Thank you, Uhtred. Thank you so much. Immediately the next episode, Uhtred, like, basically he was given praise, and then they immediately shat on him and like said, basically dissed him type shit. And then he'll save the day again. And then it'll be like, so he would do this with multiple characters. He did it multiple times with Alfred, multiple times with Ed. He even did it with Ethelfled. So then we get to Ethelred. That's why I said it's different, because Ethelred was basically raised like a son to him. As well as, you know, some characters we didn't really get to see that much or at all in Seven Kings Must Die that we seen in The Last Kingdom. Where Hild at, man? I liked Hild. Father Peerlick, you know, he's the homie. But it just didn't hit the same. Now, I didn't say it was ass, but plus my experience was kind of ruined because of the the ending of my recording, the last 12 minutes fucked up. Speaking of the ending, I don't know about that ending, man. Excuse me. So I will put that right there. Shadow and Bone, this was something that I was like, hey, I was waiting for the season 2. I don't even remember if season 2 was bad or not. I just remember, what's her name? Can't remember her name. But my man's is about to get bodied. And instead of sacrificing him and ending his pain, his suffering at the same time, you're like, I'm going to sit there and like, no, let me, like, bro, we have to do this. He's already basically bodied. You're just having him suffer more. But always like this, man. I don't remember like things that I disliked about it. But it's an incomplete story, so it will, unfortunately, it wasn't as good as season 3 of The Boys, but I don't remember anything's flaws as much as season 4 of The Boys. And yeah, now The Walking Dead. It's kind of like between like season 8 and season 10. You have like a whole bunch of characters leaving. Some return, some don't. And so when we get to season 9, I'm like, why am I going to continue watching this if this basically became the Daryl show? I don't really hate him, but I don't like Daryl. I care, like, bro, these characters, they're overrated to me. I don't care about seeing them. I know when they go into a scene, they're not going to die. That's why I don't like them. It's like Superman, bro. Okay, yeah, it's cool to have like a character come in and like, damn, we're getting our asses whooped. Superman's here now. Let's go. It's like, I was just talking about The Boys. It's like we got Homelander. Damn, he whooping our ass. But then you have a character like Superman come in. Oh yeah, it's about time you got someone who's on your level or above. It's up now. With The Walking Dead, bro. This man, the biggest villain of the series, this man is literally on his knees in front of the biggest villain of the series. He got shot the episode previous. No, 2 episodes previous. But it's within the same like 24 hours for him. He got shot. And like, this was not something where like, bro, this was like something where it was like shoulder-ish chest area. Like, how's he? Did he not die? Like, people are like, oh, did he die? I'm like, bro, he's not dead. He's not dead. Y'all can't kill him. Y'all are too scared to. And then this man punches the main villain. And it gets tackled to the ground and then still lives to talk about it, bro. And a character that I liked, he said, hey, come here again, I'll kill you. Well, then fuck you too then, buddy. So, this was something where it's like, you have characters that I, don't care about. My bad. Don't care about in the forefront. Characters that I do like, going to different shows, or in the background, or kill it off. Why am I watching? I've only watched for one character. And now, what I watched on camera was the worst seasons. Someone did a video, and it's a retrospective of the series. They said season 7 the worst season. And it was like, no, season 8 is the worst. I'm like, bro, both videos I said no, season 10 and 11 are the worst seasons. And this dude had the audacity to say, I wasn't gonna. First of all, foremost, he said season 7 made him stop watching. So Stop watching like that. So like maybe he's seen it, maybe he didn't. But the point is he stopped really watching after season 7. And so he's rewatching it with his girlfriend. He said, I wasn't going to subject my girlfriend to this. So we just watched some important moments and now we're on to season 9. Well, you can't critique something you barely watched. You have to watch the whole thing. So the seasons that I did watch, no bueno. There's some good, okay, I won't say no good, but there's some good moments, but like they're the worst seasons. Like the last couple seasons of The Walking Dead are the worst ones, and I will say that season 9 is like the best one of the last seasons. Now, I said I'm going to talk about AMC in a second. And we're going to be talking about AMC with this next one as well. And with the 1-2 after that. Now, AMC. The reason I don't rock with y'all is because this. Y'all have fucked over this property and just ruined it. First, Frank Darabont, you didn't want to give him the budget. That whole situation. All right. We get multiple situations where it's like, oh, hey, we need y'all not to fuck us over with money. Y'all just refuse to do it. Everything was trying to cut cost, and I know, hey, yeah, we're trying to save the most money and make the most money, but you just did it to the extreme. You're like, you make Mr. Krabs and Julius from Everybody Hates Chris look like they're fucking balling, bro. Look like they don't give it. They just throwing money. That's how cheap these bastards were. I don't want to go further in case you're gonna watch more of the series, but some of the, when I said, oh, these characters is doing this, and like between these seasons, some of your favorite characters weren't there. Yeah, sometimes they didn't want to pay their actors. So, this was one of the greats. What's on the channel is not reflective of what's on this tier list. All right? It's a percentage, but I have to go right there. I have to go right there. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoy it for the most part above more than all of these. But if it was up to like season, see, I like seasons 1 through 7. Season 8, some good and some bad. I won't say it's really terrible television. It's just it's mid. Season 7 is just overhated, but that's mid as well. But if it was just season 1 through 6, season 1 through 7 for me, then like it would be up here for me, or maybe even up there. Now, Snowpiercer, I like the first 3 seasons. But season 4, I just recorded not the last episode, but the last episode I will be reacting to. I just recorded that a couple of days ago. I basically got to episode 3, and there was a decision. There's a series that I'm going to be doing later on, and I'm going to talk about that series. If you want to go check it out, Patreon description down below. If you want to like a heads up, whatever the series is. But it was one of those things where it's like the character decisions, you didn't think this through in the slightest. So it was a mix of that, and the reason I said I'll talk about AMC in a second. Oh, actually, another thing with AMC. Yo, niggas was spamming me when I was trying to do my reactions to Snowpiercer with ads. I would literally get the same ad like 4 times in a row. Not like ad, show, the same ad. No. Ad, replayed the ad, replayed the ad, replayed the ad, another ad, replayed that other ad, replayed that second ad. Okay, now you can watch. Like, nigga, bro, just do 7 different ads, bro. Or just do one ad and keep it pushing. But well, let's talk about AMC. So another show we're going to talk about AMC, as well as that show that I said the Patreon description down below. The character decisions, how those two things were doing, that was kind of reminding me of those two situations. So we'll talk about that one of the situations with AMC in a minute, and then that other show is just like dumb character decisions. You'll see it on the channel eventually. But the later season, that's bringing that shit down. Season 2 is kind of down too because of Alex, so I will have to put that bad boy right there. Now, The Sopranos, I only did the first 4 episodes. You know, it's cool, but I can't really judge it that much. So I will unfortunately have to put it right there. That is very much subject to change. It will be returning on the Patreon maybe within a month of recording this. Stranger Things. Now, people say the first season and the second season, those are the... I'm not really a big horror guy, so maybe that's why it doesn't connect with me. I didn't really care much for the first 2 seasons. Season 3, like, you know, I was like, okay, I like Robin. Steve's better. And then the whole deal with I liked Max, and I like, you know, the whole deal with her, the ending with her brother and shit. I was okay, cool. And I loved season 4. So we got critically acclaimed season 1, not for me. Season 2, I don't remember how people perceive it, not for me. No, season 2, Nancy got blacklisted. They did that trope that I hate where it's just like, hey, instead of going and talking to this person, I see something and now I'm going to ignore them for this long. I was like, oh shit, brother. Yeah, we're doing one of those. That's tough. And so for that reasoning, that one was a no bueno for me. So I got two no's for me, okay for me, and a fantastic for me. So let's say we got like a S tier and a B tier and a C and a D. So let's say that's a 70. What the fuck, you stupid piece of shit. Hold on. All right. Let's say that's 100 plus an 85 plus a 75 plus a 70 divided by 4. Basically an 83 is 82.5. Basically 83. So towards the middle of B tier. I'll have to put that right there. I'll be honest, I'll have to do this. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Cool. Now, Fear the Walking Dead. I said we'll talk about something in a second. It wasn't until season 4 and 5 where it dawned on me. Mostly season 5 and season 6, but season 4 was kind of where it was out. The gears were turning, but it didn't click until like 5 or 6. I was like, why can't I really connect with the series? Because meanwhile, people say, hey, after the first 3 seasons, no, you can skip the rest. Now, we'll be continuing this on the Patreon, just not on the channel. I'm I did season 7, episode 1, and that's where I stopped at, because that's all that was on AMC, and I refused to get AMC Plus. But the thing that I was comparing to Snowpiercer, it wasn't to the same degree as the bad decisions, even though these can still be qualified as bad decisions. But I was like, why am I not rocking with this? It's the apocalypse. There's zombies. There's bad people out there. Fear the Walking Dead had the habit of being like, basically having their I'm so good and I'm this and I'm that. It's the apocalypse. First and foremost, not everyone's just all good like that. Number 2, like I said, it's the apocalypse, so you got to add that on top of it. So I'll give you the prime example. Now, if you don't want any spoilers, granted, who cares? It's Fear the Walking Dead. All right. So they bring in this girl named Charlie, right? And you could kind of compare this to the series that I'm talking about, because they kind of do the same thing, but differently. I don't want to give too much on that one. That one is, the video is basically talking about the bad of the series, that there's some good stuff in that bad, if that bad wasn't it, obviously. If that bad wasn't in there, which was big for me, but other people didn't notice, that would have been like a fantastic series. So that's one that, like, I won't spoil for you. But Fear the Walking Dead, that's a different story. So there's this girl named Charlie. They bring her in, all right? It's a mother, it's a daughter, and a son. And I don't remember it specifically. I refuse to rewatch it again. But she was, basically going against them, not like super antagonist like, but just kind of like, thorn in my side for first a little bit. Then she does something, and at the time we think does something to, not I put the gun to your head and killed you, but not also like I accidentally dropped something on you that killed you. But she did something that caused the actual attempt on in that situation, the mother's life. Not her mother, but the mother, daughter, son, and then Charlie. So then they still take her in. No, they're kind of like, well, yeah, we tried to help you, this, that, and a third. And so then she shoots the son. So she basically got the mother killed, and then she shot and killed the brother. Now we're still trying to not only not kill. Okay, you don't want to kill this like 13-year-old girl. All right, cool. Oh, no, we're going to make sure this kid stays. We're going to take care of this kid. Not me. Me personally, you're out the group. I might not kill you. You're out the group. We're not associated with you. You're to the side. You're gone. You're gone. Especially when we're not at the time, we're not in the community. We're on a road. So it's even more. It's not like we're in a big community where like I can avoid you. Nah, you're out of here. But now, the daughter, which was a character who I thought was exempt from the dumb decisions in the series that were so good and da da da. We'll talk about another specific moment in a second. Who I thought was exempt, she's looking at this girl who killed her brother, inadvertently got her mother killed. She came back, but bro, they kept bringing back people who, come on, you're dead, bro. That's another thing. Basically looking at this girl like she's a pseudo little sister, pseudo daughter type shit. Like, bro, we don't associate. You're lucky she's not killing you right now. I just can't. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? She was like one of the only characters, except from this stupid behavior. Oh, why do you say that? Now there's this other character named Troy. Now people say season 3, that's the best season. Now season 3, okay, yeah, I'll say that, but the thing that brings it down for me is Troy the character and Troy the person, two different things. It's like when I do characters tier list. I could have an S tier, I could have a villain up there, I could have Soldier Boy up there from the boys. Fantastic. But like, or like Homelander S tier villain. Am I gonna want to be his friend? No. So liking Troy as the character is different from liking Troy as a character. So, I mean, liking Troy as a character is different than liking Troy as a person. And this is fresh because someone just commented. It was like, why did you put this for Nick? And why did you put, I forgot what the second person who said recently. But, I think they said something about Troy. Okay. So, those characters I just said, the son is Nick, the daughter is Alicia, and the mother is Madison. So, when they meet Troy, he's like, basically, he's someone that, if it wasn't the apocalypse, I can see him being someone who's a Dexter villain. So a Dexter, like, who's in that show as a serial killer. Like, he's experimenting on people and shit like that. Killing them, seeing how quick they turn, this, that, and the third. So he's doing all this heinous things. And then I'm like, okay, I'm thinking Madison, the mother, is like using him. Like, okay, if we're gonna have to be in this group with him, we can like, it's kind of like I said, Homelander. Had Madeline Stillwell was trying to like use him, like yearning for a mother figure, to basically do his bidding. These type of things. So I'm like, okay, she's gonna like use him, and like whenever she needs some like dirty work done, he'll get his hands dirty, and like she'll stay to the side like her hands are clean. And then I thought Nick was on the same time, and he was one of the homies. I was like, okay, like Madison was pissing me off early on. Nick was the one who was getting it. I mean, he started doing some weird shit, but like I was like, okay, he gets it. Then we get to this season, and it was kind of like I thought he was doing it on the same timing, but then he's looking at Troy as a pseudo brother. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, he tried to kill you a couple episodes earlier, and so then he I forgot he did something, and then Madison was looking like, oh, I'm upset about this. I don't want to do this, and then she kills him. I'm like, I thought this was all for show. What are we doing? Everyone's acting like he's not like fucked up. Then Nick's acting like his own mother is going to kill him because she killed Troy. Oh no, he didn't die. Retarded. But that he killed Troy, so my own mother's gonna kill me. Do you not know how fucked up Troy was? What are you talking about? I understand y'all liking the character, but liking the person are totally different. So the reason I brought that up is because, and that was a moment from that was their peak. Alicia was exempt from that. She's someone who she wasn't overtly, but like you can tell she was someone who saw through Troy's BS. She wasn't on that timing. She would be cordial, but she wouldn't like be all, oh, you high. No, I don't know why y'all got to that point. Fear the Walking Dead. Let's see. I'll go. I'll go right there. It's probably gonna move, but we'll get there when we get there. Upload. It's just like a little something light, man. Something light. If when I get through more like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies, they'll probably go above upload, but until we get there. Now Vikings, I'm taking into account all, even though I only did a few videos, I'm taking into account all seasons as well as Vikings Valhalla. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. Actually, I will have enough time, but after this stream, I'm going to do the final episode to the first season of Vikings Valhalla. So I will be taking into account that as well. Vikings Valhalla, we'll drop the first episode of season 4 of Snowpiercer and season 1 of Vikings Valhalla on the channel and see what y'all rocking with. If y'all want to see more of that, or if you want to see it earlier, Patreon description down below. So I will be taking into account of that. There's some moments in Vikings, but that I don't remember if it ever went below like C or D tier. But Vikings Valhalla, I think it was the last episode I did of Vikings Valhalla. Season 1, episode 7. Like that was damn near like, not story-wise, but like, well, I guess story-wise still, but the reason I'm saying not story-wise is because Game of Thrones has like the element of like dragons and white, like they have different elements, and Vikings is like, it has different elements, but it's based on like history. So if it had that element, like, I'd be damn near like, want to be comparing that to the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. Maybe a little less, but like, if that episode was like, put a Westeros paint job on there and throw it in the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, it fit right in. So we'll put that. It never had moments less than, that's crazy, I'm putting this above The Walking Dead, but The Walking Dead started fumbling. I'll put that right there. Lost in Space. Now my biggest problems was with the mom. And she got better, but she was damn near close getting blacklisted. I don't like how they did. Her name's Penny. I'm not calling her Dr. Smith. They told me her real name. The actress's name is Penny. I forgot her name now. That's crazy. The actress's name is Penny. No, Penny. What the fuck? Hold on, bro. I gotta look that up because there ain't no way. Watch it say, I said real name, watch it say the actress's name. Yep. Okay, the actress is Parker. June. Okay. Because I remember at the time I was like watching Fear the Walking Dead at the same time. So I was like, okay, I got 2 Junes to talk about. But I don't like the disrespect that June kept getting. I felt like a lot of points she was valid. Now I could rewatch it and be like, nah, but like, okay, that series I was talking about, Patreon description down below, a character that's a fan favorite, if you look at some of the decisions that they make in the first 3 seasons specifically, and specifically the first one as well, like a double specifically on the first season, if you look at their decisions and Dr. Smith / June's decisions on Lost in Space, you can't love this character but hate her. If you do, they're just hypocritical things. Um, but you know, this one was heat. I don't remember having really like crazy like low moments. So we'll put that. I'll put that right there. Witcher. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like it was fun, but like I wasn't like getting into it like that all crazy. So, and I was not chosen to continue between I think like The Witcher, Vikings, and Last Kingdom. Westworld, I only seen the first season and the first 2 episodes of season 2. Like I was gonna let y'all choose, and even if y'all chose like later on to say, hey, continue this, they took it off HBO anyway, so I don't even know where I would find it. So we're only talking about season 1 and the first 2 episodes. So this was fortunate enough to not like have like a low moment. I will say I like the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones so much that I will put it above Westworld. Now let's reorganize this list. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Put that up there. Up there. Alright, I'll put that the first of A tier. Alright. Put that the first of B tier. Okay, let's see. Put that this. Put that right there. Alright. That right there. I can't put Dragon Ball Z in B tier because I know there's going to be some heat coming up. The only reason is this low is specifically because I'm only talking about the first 10 episodes and like some of the things that I like. I know I'll get some heat later. Yeah, I'll have to go like that. I kind of want to like have it even out. And it's like the perfect amount too. Yeah, fuck it, fuck it. Boom. I can't put Nightmare on Elm Street at the bottom spot, bro. So I'll do this. Boom. Fuck it. Boom. Yeah, that's just gonna have to rock like that. It's kind of ugly looking, but hey, man. I could go like that too. And yeah. Yeah, okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, like, it's not the first one. Now, for the time, I can't really say because but for how I remember Freddy and watching it in current situation, that's just unfortunately where it's gonna have to go. Now, speaking of having to go, I'm gonna be honest. That other video that's an hour long, I can't go. So I will have to end this stream. But that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure you drop like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned for the next one. And I'm out. Peace.